Good grief. Why do they never go in for me? Hi everybody, it's been a while, hasn't it? Yes, just when I said I was going to get back into making videos, I slacked off again, but there we go. It's the way it is sometimes. I guess you just have to make these things when you get the inspiration. I am going to show a Wodge of records I got. Now these records I'm going to show you, I'll talk about in a minute, but first I've got some lovely VCLT, get it right. I was in a chat online with John Downing, who's 6-inch pianist, 1319 or whatever number it is he's got after it, and we ended up talking about Stevie Wonder, and I said that the only copy of Innovisions I have on by Stevie Wonder is on cassette, and the running order on the cassette, like a lot of early 70s cassettes, is completely out of whack. And I said, oh, I have to get a vinyl version one day, because I think it would enhance the listening experience somewhat. And the lovely John Downing promptly said, oh, I've got a spare copy. There it is. So this is a fantastic sounding record, absolutely brilliant. And yes, it does sound better with the running order. He's got it in vinyl. I guess they changed it to get equal amounts of tape on both sides, but it does muck up it a bit. Side one is now works much better. It's like the more expansive side of music on this album, with some of the more funky stuff and more straight ahead. I mean, it's quite an amazing record all round on the B side, but this is truly magnificent record. Lovely gatefold. Yeah, a truly brilliant record. Side one is really expansive. It's truly, yeah, it's Stevie Wonder really expanding on his sound, expanding on what he was writing about. Totally amazing. And it's got the original version of Higher Ground on it, so there you go. So that's the first one. He also sent me a rather lovely indie compilation from 1990. Now he said he picked this up somewhere, and he said he had it in mind to send it to me anyway, which John is just lovely. So this is Postcard from Paradise, and this is I think it's 12 female fronted or female. They're totally female. They might, no, there's some guys in pictures on here, but at least female fronted bands. And this is a terrific listen. There's some really good stuff on here. I have heard of some of these. Anne Clark I've heard of before. Anna Palm, I've heard of before. Not too many, quite a lot of new artists new to me. Some of these I would have liked to have investigated further, but it appears that a lot of these, this is their only recorded work that appears on here, or they've got the odd single. So, but this is a great compilation. Really, really interesting stuff on Eden. Let's show the label on this one. Well, it's not very, oh, that's quite nice, isn't it? There you go, Paradise Records. Paradise? Paradise. That's a nice little label there. But yeah, really great stuff. There's a couple of, there's a Yarwall production on one of them. I'm sure these have turned up probably on Peel or something, or some of them anyway. But yeah, great stuff. So thanks so much, John. That was so absolutely brilliant to get those. Right, so this Wodge, I have to go back in the mists of time. Should I do a wobbly thing, you know, to go back in time? But beginning of January this year, January, I do believe it's the 4th. January the 4th was the day before lockdown was announced in this country, which we're just about coming to the end of now. I had to get my car MOT'd, so I took it into Exeter to get it done. And I spent the whole day wandering around Exeter while it was done and sorted. And of course that meant what turned out to be final trip around some charity shops. And I came out with a Wodge of records, so there we go. I'm going to start off now. I've got to start off with a record that's over there. So I'll be back. Okay, I'm back again. So probably the pick of the bunch of these. These were all £1 each. I got most of them from one big warehouse charity shop, or the charity shop's warehouse, where they have literally thousands of tatty old records. But it's worth going through every 3 or 4 months, or whenever you can get it there. At the moment, if you can get it while it's open, every 3 and 4 months, just check it out and see what they've dumped in there that hasn't sold at maybe other charity shops. But I managed to pick up this in there. So this is Tim Rose, and this is his, I think it's his solo debut album, or debut solo album, whichever way around you want to say it. Tim Rose he was a bit of a folkie, worked with Mama Cass before she got into the Mamas and the Papas. And this is a top-notch record. This is absolutely brilliant on here. We've got probably best known for his version of Hey Joe, which was the original slow version of Hey Joe. It had always been a fast song up until then, or most versions had been fast. But he slowed it down and cheekily put his own writing credit on it, or at least arranged by Tim Rose, which I suppose he did, that's true, but I think he's put his own writing credit. There's a bit of a dispute as to who actually wrote Hey Joe. But this is a version that inspired Hendrix's version, even down to the backing vocals and the way the total arrangement is totally copied by Hendrix. So yeah, and then you've got things like Morning Dew. What else is really good on here? Long Time Man was good. You're Slipping Away From Me. Absolutely brilliant stuff. B-side. Yeah, absolutely stoked to have found this. Just unbelievable, some of the stuff that you actually turn up in charity shops just out of the blue. So there we go. Yeah, I would recommend this at any time. It's kind of like, I find it quite similar in style to a Tony Joe White record from the late 60s, except instead of being quite country tinged, I think it's kind of funky folk almost. But really good stuff, really. Just listen to this loads. Absolutely ecstatic to pick that up. Right, next, I think we'll go with that one next. I got a copy of this one ages ago, but the cover was really naffed up, so it's absolutely fantastic. I got a really nice cover with this one. This is Los Lobos, How Will the Wolves Survive? I think James just showed a couple of Los Lobos, or did he show one Los Lobos record? Great stuff, mixing rock and roll and sort of Mexican influenced stuff. Really good stuff. And some great songs on here. How Will the Wolves Survive is a great song. Don't Worry Babe. So this was released in '84, which is quite a few years before they made it big with the La Bamba soundtrack. Terrific stuff though, absolutely brilliant record. So glad to have picked up another copy of that. So that's Los Lobos, How Will the Wolves Survive? Top record. What else am I going to do? I mean, because this is from a charity shop, there's all kinds of stuff in here. It's like a real hodgepodge of stuff. Some of it people would think, what the hell have you got that for? Some of it would be, wow, look at that. So maybe on the former side of that is this one, which is Art Garfunkel, Fate for Breakfast. I do have another copy of this. I don't know why I got another copy of it. Maybe the other one's a bit knackered, but it's not a wonderful record, but it's got Bright Eyes on it, and I think it gets me every single time, unashamedly so. I love it. So I got another copy of Fate for Breakfast. Obviously a glutton for punishment. This one I think it's in quite a lot better nick than the other one I've got. So yeah, that's a good one. This one's an interesting one. This is Cindy Bullens. Didn't know anything about her, but I saw it and I thought, wow, I'm going to have to take a punt on that for £1. It's kind of like a late 70s poppy rock album. Some really good songs on here, really good songwriting. I probably shouldn't refer to this artist by that name as he now calls himself Sydney Bullens. Transitioned quite a while ago, I think. But it's still a really good record. Really enjoyed listening to it. It's on UA, on a really nice UA label actually. It's got that sunset kind of UA label. Really like that one. Yeah, it's kind of 70s pop rock, maybe a little bit like who can I say? Not Pat Benatar, she was more new wave. Joan Armour Trading-ish, maybe that kind of style, but really good. I really rate that. Right, I did pick this up in a different charity shop, but it was on the same day as I was wandering around. I thought I'd give this a go. So this is John Wetton. This is a compilation called King's Road 72 to 1980. It's just a compilation of solo tracks with the band UK. I think there's one with King Crimson, which I can tolerate. What else is there? Yeah, one from Lark's Tongues in Aspic. Some tracks from UK, some solo tracks. Yeah, it's actually a really good listen. I really enjoyed that. I might have to sort of see if I can find some UK albums because I thought they were quite good. He was the voice behind Asia. I've got that right, I hope. I'm sure somebody will tell me off if I haven't. But that was quite a nice pickup for £1. What have we got here? Oh yeah, more early 80s tat. I'm not going to show the back cover of this because of a certain flag that they show. But part of the Rockabilly revival in about 79-80. Rockabilly and Teds came back in a bit of a way, sort of in the 70s. There were a few dusts up with punks and stuff. And one of the chart-bound bands was Matchbox. And this is actually pretty good album. I think at the time I would have just like gone meh with this because it would have been, I'd rather have listened to like 1950s rock and roll. But this is actually quite a good recreation of that kind of sound. And even the production doesn't sound too 80s-ish. It's not too bad. So this was worth getting. I don't think it's got an inside sleeve, and I think is it on Magnet? Yeah, most of these bands seem to be on Magnet with that red and black label. I think what singles of this? I think we got Midnight Dynamos. Was that was a single, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure. But there's some good tracks on here. That was a decent enough listen. Another artist on Magnet, but from much earlier in the 70s. I got Alvin Stardust's second album. Look at that, showing what a caring individual he is. This is actually quite a good record. There's some really good, almost rock and roll stuff. He never really ditched that. Like, he never really ditched the Shane Fenton part of his persona. He still traded a lot of rock and roll, even when he was doing kind of the glam hits. On here, got Red Dress, and I think there's another hit on here as well. Maybe Red Dress was the big hit off this album. Yeah, on that Magnet Red label. It's there's some highlights on here. Chilly Willy is a highlight. That's a good song. There's also some really cringe-inducing moments, especially he starts doing voiceovers and about how much he loves somebody. But there's some really good, just sort of updated rock and roll songs on here. Oh, You was a single as well, I think. But I was really happy to pick that up, and it's in superb shape as well, so I do like a bit of old Alvin. What else we got? Yeah, I'll do them in this order. I also picked up a 1970s Brenda Lee country record. It's got some Chris Christopherson songs on here, a couple of those. She does a cover of Words by the Bee Gees. We've got Big Four Poster Bed on here. It's decent enough stuff. Nothing mind blowing, but it's quite nice to listen to. Sometimes a bit of old Brenda Lee. So that's that one. This one I absolutely I do like this, and I probably shouldn't, but it's look at that. That's a stunning picture of these two. So this is a Bellamy Brothers. Kind of, that is a look at that tash. That is stunning, isn't it? Absolutely stunning tash that is. They kind of sort of country and rockers, kind of. Misunderstood is on here. I think this is their second album in '77. Didn't they have a couple of hits over in the States or something? I don't know. I don't know that much about them, but I got this because I just had to get it for that sterling tash. I mean, that's just worth a quid in itself. But it's actually not a bad record. Some of the songs are sort of in a country rock vein aren't too bad at all. So there's that one. And then just to round off, got After the Fire. This is a British band who started off as a prog band, and I think they saw the writing on the wall in about 79, 80 and started using more synths and became more of an electronic new wave band. Kind of a sound like the sort of band that would have got on Top of the Pops a fair bit in sort of like 78, 79. They weren't really new wave, they weren't really rock, they were kind of just like, it seemed like a bunch of chancers trying to hang on to the coattails of what was coming next. Most famous now for, I think they had a top 10, was it a top 10 hit in America with the Commissar, which isn't on here. It's not bad. It's not the most wondrous record I've ever heard, but it was worth taking a punt on. I don't know if I'll ever listen to it that much again, but yeah. So there we go. So that was the last bunch of records I bought before lockdown. Of course, I've got loads of stuff to show since lockdown, but we'll have to see how. Hopefully, I'll just get myself together and actually make some of these videos. But then, knowing me, I'd probably need a gigantic boot up the backside to do it. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll be back again soon with another video. So thanks everybody, and thank you John for those records. They're absolutely superb, absolutely superb. Cheers everyone. Bye.